Greetings, News Plus Notes readers. We're back here at the National Museum of the United States Air Force with Dr. Jeff Underwood. And as a historian, you're in charge of all these research and development aircraft.
The museum is really, the National Museum of the United States Air Force is really happy to have our R&D aircraft all in one place, located in our fourth building. And we've been able to spread them out. So we realize we're going to be here 200 or 300 years from now. And we're going to be gone. But someone else has to take care of these aircraft. So if we leave them a good basis to work with, then they've got a good aircraft to work with. The XB-70 is a wonderful example of this aircraft. We used to have the aircraft outside. When it first came in, it was so big, they had no place to put it, so it stayed outside. Airplanes outside in Ohio, not so good. The first opportunity they had, they brought it inside. That was in the second building we built. And it was really well appreciated, but again, it was so tight in there, people couldn't get the view. You and I can turn around and look at this, and this is a view that no one has been able to get of this aircraft since it was actually flying. So now, standing here on our mezzanine or walking down the floor, you can walk under and see the aircraft. So I think it's not only are we protecting the aircraft, but we're giving the public a much better appreciation for the aircraft itself. You can really see the lines and see how pretty this airplane is from different angles.
Well, not only the XB-70, but we have the Titan III.
It's a Titan IV. We have a Titan IV-B. That is, we thought about how do we display this thing, because it's big. It's 96 tons, empty. How do you display 96 tons? Well, do you stick it inside our hollow missiles, straight up one of the others? We'd have to knock off the roof and put another 50 or 60 feet on there, that's not smart. So we figured out, well, maybe we can lay it on its side. Well, that has its own problems. We had to figure out how to lay it on its side and to build a frame strong enough to hold it, because again, it's 96 tons. That's a lot of weight. So we have this, and people can walk up closely, and they get a view of a rocket. They carry these heavy payloads in space, again, that they cannot normally get, and you can see things almost as if you were working on the spacecraft as it's about to take off.
Well, as we glance down here, we can see that everything is full. I realize there's special activities going on today. The people are walking through the aircraft. At the other end of the building, we have the presidential gallery. We have all these one-of-a-kind research and development aircraft. How fulfilling is it to see this dream finally accomplished?
Finally fulfilling it is a pretty good feeling. We work really hard for the Republic and for the people in the United States, and for our foreign visitors as well. We're trying to explain to people what air power is and how it works, and to show them that air power is more than just blowing stuff up. The presidential aircraft, it's fulfilling to be able to show people this is air power at its finest, and it's peaceful air power. We have the R&D, this is air power. We have the Titan IV that launched the missiles, launched the satellites up that were able to take the photographs to help us keep from going to war, to help prove what was going on. We have the space shuttle exhibit where people can walk through and get a feeling of what it must have been like to be an astronaut on the shuttle. And as they walk through the other aircraft and they get to see our Global Reach aircraft, and they can walk inside, it allows, again, a person to understand what it looks like. So the next time they see an aircraft on television or read about it in the newspaper, they'll have a better appreciation and they understand what air power means. So the next time they hear about President Kennedy in Air Force One, they will have seen it, and it puts it in a historical context and allows them to associate themselves with that time. And then they also, as they walk around, they start seeing how the engineering, the science, technology, engineering, math works. And perhaps the little kid walking through says, oh, I don't want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer, and they want to go into aerospace engineering. Or they maybe want to teach and they want to do it that way. So that's what's really fulfilling, is we're going to inspire a lot of people to do a lot of things that perhaps they would have never thought of doing. But by seeing these, they know that I too can do this because someone else did it. They had to overcome all these challenges, and I can do it too.
Well, one of the more important aircraft here never fired a shot with the Hanoi Taxi, emblematic of the fact that we never leave anybody behind, and all of our servicemen and women are not forgotten wherever they are. And so now to actually have it inside and preserved for all generations is just wonderful.
The Hanoi taxi is going to allow us to tell a story for younger generations, for you and me, and many people who are watching this right now. They will remember when that aircraft first came out in February of 1973. We remember these things, but others don't, and it will provide a context when they go on board and they see the photographs we have of showing the first American POWs coming out of Hanoi, which is why it got the nickname Hanoi Taxi. They see these people, and they see the joy and the screaming of happiness on their face, and they want to know more about it. And so it also helps us explain how the war in Southeast Asia came to a conclusion. And also, when people walk through the airplane, they'll see this airplane did more than just that one mission. That's probably the most important mission it ever flew. But this aircraft served our republic for a number of years, flying very, very important missions. And one of its more important missions for me is when they flew it around over the museum. We were able to take some photographs of it in flight over the museum. So it's a full circle, and we were able to bring the aircraft in flight and bring it in and protect it inside. So it's flying over where it eventually landed for the next couple of centuries.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And News Plus Notes readers, you can see all this and much, much more than we can ever detail to you here at the National Museum of the United States Air Force, just outside of Dayton, Ohio. Thanks for watching.